Hi, everyone. We'll get started in about a minute. Okay, so last time we left off here at percents. So here are some few examples for percents. So 10% of 100 is 10. All you gotta do is convert the percent into a decimal and then multiply the decimal by the number. So this would be 0.1 times 100, and that equals 10. And then same thing for all of these. 25% becomes 0.25, multiply that by 100 and you get 25. 0.25 times 50, that's 12.5. And notice how 12.5 is half of 25. 90% of 1 is 0.9. 110% of 1 is 1.1. And 25% of 25% of 100 is 6.25. So when you guys see a percent of a percent, you guys want to convert both into decimals and then just multiply all of these. So this would be 0.25 times 0.25 times 100, and that's 6.25. And once again, you guys know this. To convert from a percent to a decimal, move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. All right, 80 of 20%, 80 is 20% of what number? So to set this problem up, you have 80 on one side of the equation, and you have 20% times x, and x represents the number of represents what number. And to solve this like a basic algebra problem, convert 20% into a decimal, or in this case, you guys can convert it into a fraction. 1/5 is also 20%, because 1 divided by 5, that's 0.2, and that's 20%. So then you have this, and then just multiply each side by 5, and then you get x equals 400. 2 is negative 50% of what number? Set this up like the last one. There should be an x here. So this is, oh no, never mind. So the first line, they convert negative 50% into a fraction. So negative 50% is negative 1/2. Because 1/2 is 50%, and they just added a negative sign. And then you set it up like the last example, 2 equals negative 1/2 x, and then multiply each side by negative 2, and you get x equals negative 4. All right, so here are some challenge problems. I'll give you guys about 4 minutes to do these. These are pretty easy. Once again, type your answers into the chat privately. 2 more minutes. All right, type in your last answers. I'm about to go over them. Okay, I'll go over the answers right now. All right, so what is 30% of 200? Farron, you have a question? Okay, never mind. All right, so 30% of 200. So you guys want to convert, all right, you guys are self-typing the answer. Yeah, that's good. You guys are good. All right, 30% of 200. So convert 30% into a decimal. So move the decimal point 2 times to the left, and that equals 0.3. And then when it says 30% of 200, you guys want to multiply. When you guys see of, that means multiplication. So 0.3 times 200, that's 60. And if you guys have a calculator, that will be very fast. I'm not too picky. You guys can use a calculator for all of these. All right, so 15% of 380. So this becomes 0.15. 0.15 times 380, and that becomes 57. 0% of 23, 47, 83. So 0% as a decimal, that's just 0. 0% of anything, that's 0. So this is 0. 100 is 40% of what number? So for this one, you guys want to set up an algebra equation. So 100 is, that means you write out 100 equals is 40% of what number? So this would be 40% times x representing a number. And guys, please stop requesting access. All right, so 40% as decimal, that becomes 0.4. So on the other side, that would be 0.4 times x. And to solve for x, you guys want to divide each side by 0.4. So that would be 100 divided by 0.4. And that's 250. All right, 27 is 20%, 27% of what number? So same thing, 27 equals 27% times x representing a number. And then you guys can convert 27 into a decimal. Or if you really want to, you guys can convert it into a percent, into a fraction, but a decimal is a lot easier than a fraction. So divide each side by 0.27 and you guys get 100. So, and that makes sense because 27% times 100, that's 27. All right, 40% of 70% of 10. So we have two ofs here. That means you guys do multiplication twice. So same methods. You guys want to convert 40% and 70% into decimals, and then multiply all of these together. So 0.4 times 0.7 times 10, and that equals 2.8. All right, you guys did pretty good with those. All right, Stephanie bought a new computer that cost $800. The sales tax rate is 7%. How much sales tax does Stephanie have to pay for her computer? Okay, so the sales tax due equals the purchase price times the sales tax rate. You guys know what a tax is. Anytime you guys buy something, you guys got to pay extra. It's for the government, stuff like that. So the computer cost $800, so that's our purchase price, and our sales tax rate is 7%. So, and we want to find what our sales tax due is. So all we want to do is multiply $800 by 7%. So we convert 7% into a fraction or a decimal, but in this case, they converted it into a fraction. So $800 times 7 over 100. And we can simplify this first. So 800 times 7, that's our numerator, and then our denominator is 100. So we have an 800 on top and a 100 on the bottom. So that means, and they both have a factor of 100. That is their GCF, or greatest common factor. So we can take out a 100 from both 800 and 100. And once we do that, we get $8 times 7, and that equals $56. So our sales tax due is $56. So in total, Stephanie has to pay $800 for her computer and a $56 sales tax. So her total payment is $8.56. No, $8, sorry, $856. All right. A 100 milliliter bottle of salad dressing initially consists of 80% oil and 20% vinegar. 40% of the dressing is used, and then 4 millimeters of vinegar are added to the bottle. What percentage of mixture is now vinegar? So the problem says we have 80% oil, and 80% oil of a 100 millimeter bottle. So we want to wait this. Oh, sorry. This should be yeah. Let me change that. Sorry, it should be 60 millimeters, not 100. Okay, there you go. So a 60 millimeter bottle. Sorry, that was a typo. All right, so 80% of, we want to find out how much oil, like the exact amount, is in a 60 millimeter bottle. And there is, so there's 80% vinegar, 80% of oil in the bottle. So we want to multiply 80% by 60, and that gives us 48 milliliters of oil. So I said millimeters at first. So 48 milliliters of oil. If you divide that by 60, that is 80%. So this is correct. And then the other 20% is vinegar. So we also want to multiply 20% by 60 to find the exact amount of vinegar in the salad dressing. So we do that, and we get 12 milliliters of vinegar. All right. So then it says we add 4 milliliters of vinegar are added to the bottle. So that means we add it to 12 milliliters. So 12 plus 4, that gives us 16, as you guys see here. But it says what percentage of the mixture is now vinegar? So what percentage of the total mixture? So we added 4 milliliters to our original 60 milliliter bottle. So that gives us 64 milliliters in total. So all we got to do is divide 16 by 64 to get 1/4, and that is 25%. So after we add 4 milliliters of vinegar to the bottle, the mixture is now 25% vinegar. So basically, to sum up this problem, you guys want to, when you guys are given percentages and you guys are given a total amount of something, you guys want to multiply the percentage by the total amount to find exactly how much is in that bottle. If this was a 100 milliliter bottle, I would multiply 80% by 100, and I would find out there are 80 milliliters of oil inside that bottle. But this is a 60 milliliter bottle. And to find what percentage of the mixture is now vinegar, we just divide the total vinegar amount by the total amount. So this is vinegar divided by the entire bottle, and that's 25%. All right, so here are 3 challenge problems. I'll give you guys about 10 minutes to do these. So once again, type your answers into the chat. Oh, and if you guys have any questions, type your questions into the chat and I'll answer them. Oh, shoot, my bad. That's another typo. This should say Elizabeth, not Emily. Okay, there we go. My bad, guys. Okay, guys, about 3 more minutes. Okay, about 1 more minute. And it's okay if you guys don't finish all of them. When time is up, just type in the answers you guys have. Okay, I'll go over the answers right now. So the Sacramento Kings have lost 40 of their 69 games so far this season. Very sad. What is their win percentage? So for this problem, you guys want to find out how many games they won this season. So they lost 40 games. You guys subtract 69 minus 40 to find out how many games they actually won. So we find out they won 29 games this season. So to find their win percentage, you guys want to divide how many games they won by the total number of games played. So that would be 29 divided by 69, and that's a 42% win percentage, which means they suck. All right. Peter and Elizabeth played Go Fish against each other many times last January. Elizabeth won 65% of the time, and Peter won the other 7 games. There were no ties. So how many games did Elizabeth win? So we know Peter won 7 games, and Elizabeth won 65% of the time. So we want to find out what percentage of games Peter won. Well, if Elizabeth won 65% of games, that means Peter won 35% of games, because it's 100% minus 65%, and that equals 35%. The total number of games is always 100%. So we set up an equation. So 7 games equals 35% x. X representing the total number of games, and 35% is the percentage, is Peter's win percentage. So we convert 0.35, we convert 35% into a decimal, which is easier than a fraction. That becomes 0.35. And then we divide each side by 0.35. So 7 divided by 0.35 equals 20. So we find out that they played 20 games total. But we would still want to find out, we're not done yet. We still want to find out how many games Elizabeth won. And she won 65% of the time. So now we want to multiply 65% by the total 20 games they played. So that would be 0.65 as a decimal times 20, and that's 13. So Elizabeth won 13 times, or she won 13 games. All right, when my car's gas tank is 80% empty, it contains 3 gallons of gas. How many gallons of gas does it contain when it is 80% full? So we have empty and full here. We want to work with just one. We want to work with full. So 80% empty, that's also 20% full. So this is we change this into 20% full to make it easier, and it contains 3 gallons of gas. So we set up another equation. So 3 gallons of gas equals 20% times x. X equals the total gallons of gas, and we convert 20% into a decimal. So that would become 0.2x, or 0.2 times x. And then we divide each side by 0.2. So 3 divided by 0.2, that's 15. So there's 15 gallons total in the tank. And so we found out how much total, what's the total capacity. So how many gallons of gas does it contain when it is 80% full? All we got to do is multiply 80% by the 15 total gallons. So 0.8 times 15, that's 12. So when so the car contains 12 gallons of gas when it is 80% full. And as always, when you guys solve word problems, make sure you guys put units next to you guys' answers. Yeah, you guys didn't put any some of you guys didn't put any units, but it's fine for here. But when you guys are at school, make sure you guys put units. I'm sure your teachers tell you guys that all the time. All right, percent increase and decrease. So a 25% increase from 60. So when you guys see a percent increase, you guys have to add it to 100% first. So a 25% increase is actually 125%. The 100% is the original amount, 60, and 25% is how much we increased it by. If we just multiply 60 by 25%, we would only get 16. We would only get 15. But 15, if I increase 60 by 25%, 15 doesn't sound right. That's way below 60. So that doesn't make any sense. So we got to add it to 100% first. So this becomes 125% times 60, and that equals 1.25 times 60, and that's 75. So percent increase is 1 point something something. So a percent increase is always greater than 100%. 100% is always is the total amount. So if an increase is greater than 100%, that means a decrease is less than 100%, but it is also greater than 0. So a percent decrease is from 0% to 100, is in between 0% and 100%, and an increase is anything greater than 100%. So a 30% decrease from 132. So we subtract from 100 this time. Increase we added, but decrease we subtract. So 100% minus 30%, that's 70%. So 70% of 132. And we multiply those, that becomes 7/10 times 132, and that equals 924 over 10, and that's 92.4%, or 92.4, period. And we can tell this is right. We can check our work because 92.4 divided by 132, that is 70%. So this is 30% lower. This is a 30% decrease from 132. So to sum it up, if you guys see a percent increase, add that to 100%. If you guys see a percent decrease, subtract it from 100%. So increase, add, decrease, subtract. All right, so here is the formula. This is basically what I just explained, but summed up into a formula. So percent increase, that's new value minus initial value divided by initial value times 100. And percent decrease, initial value minus new value divided by initial value times 100. Yes. So for 100, all right, so some blank said for increase, you can multiply and then add. So you guys can do this a different way. You guys can multiply 0.25 by 60, and that gives you 15. And once you have that, you guys add it to the original amount. So 15 plus 60, that still gives us 75. So there's two ways to do it, but you guys can choose either method. So here's the formula. So our new value, yeah, so these are our formulas. So for example, I'll pick a number. So say our new value is $80, but our initial value is 100. Oh, sorry, this is percent increase. So say our new value is $120 and our initial value is $100. So 120 minus 100, that's 20. And then 20 divided by the initial value, 100 times 100. So that's 20. So that our percent increase is 20%. And then percent decrease, our initial value is 100 and our new value is 80. So 100 minus 80, that's 20. And then 20 divided by 100, that's also 20 divided by 100 times 100, that's also 20. So this is a 20% decrease. All right, a change from 60 to 210. I want to find out what percent change that is. So we use our formula. So this is obviously an increase. So 210 minus 60 equals 150. Our new value minus our initial value equals, our new value minus our initial value, that's 150. And then divide that by the initial value. So 150 divided by 60, that's 5 over 2. Or 250 over 100. These are all equivalent fractions. And we can see here that this is 250%. So 60 to 210, that's a 250% increase. That's a big increase. All right, so here's some more. A change from 100 to 200. So once again, we use our formulas. 200 minus 100 divided by 100 times 100. 100s cancel out. So this is basic. So this is simplified to 100. So this is a 100% increase. So notice here we doubled. 200 is double of 100. So that means when we double something, that's a 100% increase. We are adding the initial amount to the initial amount. So that's 100% increase. Here's a change from 100 to 0. So that's a decrease. So 100 minus 0 divided by 100 times 100, that's a 100% decrease. So when we take away everything, that's a 100% decrease. We have nothing left. So when you double something, that's a 100% increase. When you take away everything, that's a 100% decrease. Here's another example. In 2009, Heart and Soul Shoe Company sold 50 million pairs of shoes. In 2010, they increased advertising and they sold 20% more shoes than in 2009. How many pairs of shoes did they sell in 2010? So this is a 20% increase, 1.2. We can, because they said they sold 20% more shoes than in 2009. So that's a 20% increase, and that becomes 1.2. Don't forget the 1 here. So all we gotta do is multiply 1.2 by the initial 15 million pairs of shoes in 2009. So 1.2 times 15 million, that's 18 million. And then that's our answer. They sold 18 million pairs of shoes in 2010. And we can see and we can check that our answer is correct, because 18 million minus 50 million, that's 3 million. And then 3 million divided by 50 million, that is 20%. So that is a 20% increase. All right, compound interest. In-N-Out's stock in Globo Super Omnicorp is worth $500 at the start of January. And each month, the stock goes up 10% in value. What is the stock worth at the end of March? So the thing to know about compound interest, you multiply the percent by your new value. You don't multiply it by your initial value. So here's how to do it. So first, we start out with $500. So 10% times 500, that's $50. Then we add $50 to the initial $500, and that gives us $550. And since this is compound interest, we multiply 10% by the new amount, so 550. So 10% times 550, that's 55. Add that to the new amount, 550, and that gives us 605. And then do it again. 10% times 605, that equals $60.50. Add that to 605, and you get $665.50. So that is the stock's worth. That is the new amount. And we can sum this up with an equation. So the final amount equals the percent increase, or the decimal. Sorry, this is not the percent increase. So final amount equals the percent raised to a power that represents time times your initial amount. So 110%, that is the increase, right? 100, because 110% is 1.1 as a decimal. Usually here, this should be, I would like this to be written as a decimal because that's more clear. Because 1.1, that represents a 10% increase. So change this to 1.1. So in here, it should be a decimal. So 1.1 raised to the third power, 3 for 3 months, right? January, February, and March. And then here is the initial amount. So then we do the math. So this becomes 1331 over 1000 times 500. That simplifies, and then we get $665.50. Same thing as we got here. So the top 3 rows, that shows out the steps to do it, and the bottom half, that's the equation. So the thing to know about compound interest, you guys are multiplying by your new amount, not the initial amount. All right, and here is the equation for compound interest. You guys probably won't see this for a while, but why not? I'll show it to you guys. All right, so A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the NT power. So there's a word you guys can use to remember this. It's parent. So PAR, there's no E, but NT is like parent. So that's how you guys can remember this. So A equals the amount, the new amount, and P equals our initial amount. So there's a 1 here because remember in when it's percent increase, we gotta add it to 1. So a 20% increase, that's 20% plus 100% or 0.2 plus 1. So interest rate, that's R. That's represented by R, and N is the number of times interest is compounded per unit T. So say we compounded 12 times in 1 year, represented by T, N will be 12. And then we raise that, the N repeats here in the exponent, and then T is also the time. So you guys don't have to use this equation. I think the challenge problems don't require you guys to use the equation. You guys can like solve it the longer way, which is I guess kind of also the easier way if you guys don't understand this equation. All right, so challenge problems. You guys got 4. I'll give you guys. Okay, I think how much more? Oh, so this is our last slide of this unit. So I'll give you guys 10 minutes to do these. And so ask any questions, type your answers into the chat, and after this, we'll play Kahoot. And remember, Kahoot's also your break. All right, I gotta find out next lesson how to stop you guys from requesting control. And to make these problems quicker, you guys can use calculators. But if you guys want to just do it by hand, yeah, go ahead. I'm not picky. Yeah, I might kick you out if you keep doing that. Yeah, I realize we spend a lot of time on challenge problems. So as my calculus teacher said, the best way to get better at math is to do a lot of math. So I'm making you guys do a lot of math. Plus, I don't think you guys want to hear my voice for 90 minutes straight. A pay cut, so that's a percent decrease. So she must have done something pretty bad, and then she got a 20% pay cut. Yeah, she probably kicked someone. I think she'd get fired if she did that. All right, about 5 more minutes. And you guys are all doing pretty good. So good job, guys. Uh, you guys, 3 more minutes. You guys are still working. Okay, 2 more minutes. All right, I'm gonna go over the answers. Wait a sec, guys. All right, so what number is 20% more than 15? So 20% more, that's a 20% increase. So that is 1.2 times 15, and that's 18. What number is 30% less than 40? So 30% less, that's percent decrease. So we subtract this from 100%. So that's 0.7 as a decimal and 70% as a percent. 70% as a percent. So that becomes 0.7 times 40, and that's 28. All right, Amy's monthly salary was $2,000 in May. In June, she received a 20% raise, but in July, she received a 20% pay cut. After the two changes in June and July, what was Anna's monthly salary? So first, we want to work this out step by step because we can't solve this on one step. So yeah, that's another typo. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is Amy. Anna's supposed to be Amy. I'll change that. Sorry if that tripped you guys up. I was trying to change the names from the textbook questions, and then I forgot to change all of them. All right, there we go. Not plagiarism. I actually gave them credit. As long as I cite these, I'm good. So, all right. So $2,000, and in June she received a 20% raise. So we want to find that first. So a 20% raise, that is 1.2. So 1.2 times 2,000, that's $2,400. But in July she received a 20% pay cut. So we want to find that now. So a 20% pay cut, that's percent decrease. So that becomes 80%. 20% subtracted from 100%, that's 80%, and that becomes 0.8 as a decimal. And we want to multiply 0.8 by the salary after the raise. So we multiply 0.8 by 2,400. And once we do that, we find out that her new salary is $1,920. So after all that, she lost 80 bucks in her annual salary or monthly salary. So that's too bad for her. All right, a dress originally priced at $80 is put on sale at 25% off. If 10% tax is added to the sale price, then what is the total cost of the dress? So 25% off, that's 75% times 80. So 0.75 times 80, that's 60. Because we know 60 is 75% of 80. So that is the new cost of the dress. So if a 10% tax is added to the sale price, we want to find that. So 10% of $60, that's $6. So we add the cost plus the tax amount. So 60 plus 6, that's $66. So the total cost of the dress, including tax, that's $66. All right. So here's the works cited. As you guys can see here, I cited art of problem solving, so no plagiarism there. All right, so so that concludes our unit, and I'll hand it over to Emily now, and we're gonna play Kahoot. Oh yeah, I'm gonna unmute you guys right now since you guys want to talk. All right, you guys can unmute right now.
Oh, I'm gonna win.
All right, you guys can talk in the chat too. Try not to spam too much.
Spam. Wait, what's the code? Jeffrey 2. Oh no, wait, no. Jeffrey 2. Yeah. This one. Owls. Who's owls?
Hey, yo, bro.
Who's owls?
Okay, should I change my name? Yeah, I guess I can change my name.
Who the heck is owls?
Guys, keep these names PG.
Who's
All these names are fine.
What's Edmund Watchef?
What? Okay, I'm gonna read
Edmund Watchef!
Okay, I'm gonna read you that.
Oh, it's 27815.
People who like don't actually use their real names are really bad because then we don't know who it is. Edmund Watchef. I'm gonna search that guy up.
Edmund Watchef! It's in the story.
Dude, shush.
Then I said
Shush.
so
Can you
slow.
mute this guy again?
There's no such person.
Hey, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter!
There's no such person.
Dude, stop screaming. Stop screaming like a baby. Dude,
Hey
stop
guys,
screaming.
keep your voices like not too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like
Dude,
that.
Screaming
mute
too
him.
much.
Dude, he's screaming like a baby, okay? Give him a diaper.
You know the hosting?
I do my boy. You my boy,
Oh my god, someone literally.
Baltimore next time. I'm going to name myself Baltimore next time.
Oh my
Shut
God.
up.
It's literally
Guys, don't
someone
say
literally
shut up.
WTF. No.
Somebody
WTF, what is
mute
happening? Dude, why would you
Guys,
just
if you guys are too loud, I'm gonna mute you guys. I don't want you guys hurting other people's ears.
Person, he's kind of a little bit
Yay,
disturbing.
let's go. Dude,
Who knows?
Guys, like any other, like your guys' regular classes, if you guys abuse your privileges, I'm gonna take it away.
yeah, take the fair one guy away.
Yes.
All right, Emily, when you want to start?
7:10.
Okay. All right, so you guys have 1 more minute to
Chat
join.
is loading.
No, it's not.
I just don't
It was
care
worse
about
before. We had like 200 chat notifications.
No, there was 300, but like,
Yeah, 300.
no. Someone's
Someone's
spamming me.
spamming
Oh, no.
Oh, now it's getting worse.
No, it's only 56. Don't worry. It's not a bad deal. Oh, no, it's rising again. Come on. We can make it to 300.
All right, so last calls to join.
Oh my god, someone literally said shut up.
It's me again. I'm just making like.
Okay, that works.
Okay,
Come on, someone keep on spamming. Who is spamming? Someone, please, please. Keep on going. Oh, so many shut up.
Oh, we have 3 shut-ups right now.
No, they can. Oh, 161. Let's go.
stop, Buster. What the heck?
There's so many.
I broke my keyboard.
Oh no. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh no, like literally. Someone block the chat.
Is it that bad?
Yes.
Not really.
It stopped right now.
Okay. It's a-okay.
Wait, just keep on spamming until like he stops. Yay.
And stop.
I'm really bad.
Wait, what?
I'm not letting
I
you guys
chose
trying to
that
crash
one and I
Zoom.
got it wrong. I chose that one and I got it wrong. Somehow.
Oh.
That's bad.
If anybody gets behind the shut ups,
Wait, how are you guys annotating? I thought I turned that off.
Because
We're pro. Someone block annotating.
It's
Hey,
not
Emily,
20%.
Emily, can you block annotating? Go to your go to the top and then
Yeah.
click on the 3 dots and you should see stop annotating
Show media. What does it mean
or
by
block
show media?
annotations.
Media. Let's
I'm
go.
on the podium.
whatever.
Ugh.
Can you shut them up again? Or otherwise, I'm gonna have to make more shut up accounts.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I am
Oh my
pro.
gosh, she's on the leaderboard. What the hell? Why is she on the leaderboard?
This is so freaking laggy.
Hey, Emily, can you erase the circle right there?
Yeah.
I think darn me, I got it wrong.
Yeah, I think I got it wrong. Okay, I'm not getting.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong
It's the
answer.
green one.
It was
it's yellow.
so. It was
Wait,
so
what? It's an
laggy.
even. It's an even.
It's
6-6.
so laggy that I can't even click the right one.
Ouch.
You're laggy.
No, you are.
So laggy, you glitched out of the world.
That's sad.
I'm gonna literally skill my way through this, and I'm gonna win.
You are? Good for you, man.
Someone get this wrong. Like the
Who's your
first,
homeroom teacher?
huh? Who's your homeroom teacher?
I got Miss
Wait,
Noble.
wait, can the
Let's
teacher
go. I
play?
got Miss Noble too before, and that was last year.
Hey, Wesley, can you play?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah,
entertaining
play. I
watching
want
you
to
guys.
see you get destroyed by someone.
No, I'm good.
Oof,
I'm
man.
Harry Potter.
I gotta keep my pride up.
Your clout.
Yeah, my clout.
What the heck, dude?
Eric, I have a feeling you got this number wrong.
I have a feeling too.
Oh yeah,
I
I
have a
definitely got it
feeling
wrong. I
too.
definitely got it wrong. I definitely got it wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
let's hope you did.
No, I
Because I
got
did.
it wrong. I think
I got it wrong. I definitely got it wrong. I know I got it wrong.
Okay, then otherwise, if you say that one more time, I'm
Actually,
gonna
I
have
got it correct.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to make more shut up accounts, okay? It's tiring.
Oh
It's
my!
tiring making shut up accounts to shut people up.
你都对了。
Thing is literally like taking my life.
但是因为有一个
41 is 87% of one number. Okay.
None of the above. None of the above. What the heck?
What do you mean? it's 80, it's 41, it's 80% of what number?
I'm gonna just pick a random number. Yeah, I guessed it correct.
Ooh, I didn't even guess.
Hey, you guys can use your calculators.
I can.
Yeah. Well, I can't stop you guys, so.
We have the power.
Who's
Actually, we
anonymous?
wouldn't if you didn't say that.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's true.
Someone's like literally trying to kill me here.
I'm just gonna guess, and I think I got it wrong. Actually, I think I got it correct, but I also
Wait,
think I
what?
got
It's
it wrong.
90. Wait, that doesn't make any
Fun
sense.
playing that. I'm gonna be
It
playing.
doesn't make any sense.
Doing that.
I think I got it wrong, but I also think I got it right. So I'm not really
Wait,
sure.
how does
Wait,
that
that
not
doesn't
make
make
sense?
any sense.
How does that not make sense?
79.9 is 99% of what number? That means something times 199% is 79.9.
Guys,
I told you,
No, that makes sense.
7. I told you it was
79.9 equals 0.99 times 80.7.
real anonymous. Who is this?
Wow,
Who's
I
Harry
was
Potter?
surprised. Who knew that? I am.
Harry Potter
He's
is
a wizard. He's a wizard.
Yeah, he's a wizard.
He's a mathematician.
it's a sum decrease.
It's just 80.
Oof, this is hard.
Then don't do it. If it's hard, then don't do it.
I'm gonna guess.
For your own good.
I'm just gonna like guess. And I got it wrong.
Seriously?
You guys are all
Someone just
guessing.
get it wrong, please.
They changed from 33 to 47 is a 40. Whoops.
你看这么点儿，
It's a 20.5. Sorry, I just said the answer. Well, maybe I said the answer. Oof. Ouch. I think I
You better not lie.
If you lied, I'm literally gonna leave the meeting.
Oh, what if I get it correct?
Then I'm gonna still actually.
Yeah.
You lied. You're such a liar. People
Oh, nobody got it. Oh
Nobody
my.
really got it correct because I tricked everybody. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
got
this is,
tricked
like, so
yourself.
hard.
So
This is so easy. Actually, it's so hard. It's so easy. That's so hard.
It's a 50% increase, guys.
Wrong.
Yes, it
wait, what do you
is.
mean? What
Guys,
do you
don't
mean?
listen to the liar. Don't listen to that, Ethan.
Yeah.
You
minus
guys-
points for
Yeah.
minus points for whoever picks increase.
Minus point.
Increase, increase, increase,
Increase, increase,
48, you know?
increase.
increase.
Guys, 48% decrease is wrong.
Oh, 2 people listened to that.
Wait,
Minus
how
points,
did I not
guys.
press that? I literally pressed it and it glitched out.
Ah.
What the hell? How did it
That's
glitch?
fine. What?
Who's haha?
Nice questions, Emily.
At 4% compounded semua. I'm gonna Google this.
Hey, use the equation I showed you guys.
1 minute.
Did
I did this problem this morning actually.
Dollars.
Did like 5 people guess though?
1% compounded. What is seminal?
Semi-annually.
Every twice a year.
Yeah, 2 times a year. If you guys remember your equation, the n will be 2 because it's 2 times a year.
I'm just gonna guess because
It would be 114.04 round. So 11. Oh, it's the yellow, I think. It's probably the yellow. Yep, it's the yellow. Guys, touch the
blue one.
yellow. Touch the yellow.
Blue one.
Who's that blue one?
The yellow. Come on.
Don't click the
It's
yellow.
Blue one. Come on.
on. Click the yellow.
I don't even want to get first place. I want to get last place.
I want to get.
Yes.
Wait,
Let's
what?
go.
Mine is glitching. I clicked the yellow. It's glitched.
Yeah, it was yellow.
Yeah, it glitched. I clicked yellow, but it glitched.
I'm in the top 5.
Damn, third place, 6 out of 11. Oh, I shouldn't say that word, huh?
What?
Never mind.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything. All right, congratulations, period.
6 out of 11.
Okay, now can I
Just
have your
gotta
remote
believe me.
control? Give me your
Yeah, I
remote
believe
control.
Give me
You guys
your
cannot
remote
have control.
Give. Request.
I'm out of here.
Very nervous.
Please stop sharing. Spam the chat.
I already turned
Yeah,
it
because
off.
we can only spam him.
Ooh, no.
I wonder what happens if I approve.
I think like
Eh.
they can
You get to
they
share
can't like the
something.
mouse shows up on the screen.
I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh, it's you again. Oh no.
Yay.
Square root.
I gotta remember not to click on that part of this.
It's square roots.
All right, you guys are about to get muted.
No! Scream.
And you guys are muted. All right, peace and quiet. I love that. All right, so this lesson is all about square roots. So if you guys remember our exponent lesson before, we talked about squares. That's to the second power. This is the opposite of that. So like multiplication is the opposite of division. Square roots are the opposite of squares. All right, so here are some examples. So you guys have probably seen this symbol before, this thing. That's the square root symbol. So the square root of 4, that's 2. Square root of 64, that's 8, and so on. All of these. Guys, please stop requesting control. All right. So there are negative square roots also, because -2 times -2, that is that's also 4. So if you guys square root a number, there's actually 2 square roots. There's a negative number and a positive number. But just for simplicity, when we see the symbol, we mostly we're asking for the positive square root. We're not asking for -2. We're asking for +2. Jeffrey, you have a question? I guess not. All right, so this is called a radical. Guys, can you please stop like doing it? It's getting kind of annoying. Oh my god. All right, so this is called a radical. So when you use square roots as an operation, then you find the positive and negative values. So as you guys can see here, so when you see the square root symbol, dude, I'm about to kick you out. Hugo, can you please stop? All right. When you see the square root symbol in a problem, then you only find the positive value. So if you guys see this in a problem, like the square root symbol, and then a number, that's, you guys want to find the positive value. So there's a difference. All right, sorry, I kind of lost track. All right, so here's a difference. If you use the radical, if you use a square root operation as in like to solve a problem, then you find the positive and negative roots. But if you see the square root symbol like in a problem originally, then you only find the positive value. You guys have a question? All right, never mind. So at the bottom, you guys see x equals root 36. That means you only find the positive root. So root 36, that's in the problem. So that would be 6. but you see x squared equals 36, and you guys want to solve for x. To reverse the solve for x, you guys want to square root this. So the square root of x squared, that's x. And the square root of 36, in this case, it's plus and minus 6. You guys see the difference? So this is a part of the problem. This, you have to use it to solve the problem. So that's the difference. And at the bottom one, square root of -1 is I. I stands for imaginary. So there are such things as imaginary numbers. So it's imaginary because you can't really find the square root of -1. You can't multiply two numbers together and get a negative number, right? So a negative times a negative is always a positive. A positive and a positive is always a positive. So you can't get a negative. You can't find the square root of a negative number. You can't multiply two of the same number together and get a negative number. So that's why we call them imaginary numbers. But here's the thing, they're called imaginary numbers, but they do exist. They're not actually imaginary. That's just the name for them. But you guys will learn that later on if you guys don't already know that. I don't think you guys don't learn that until like high school. All right, square roots. So if you guys probably remember these from well, I hope you guys remember these from the exponents lesson. We're gonna be using these rules again. So here's some exponent rules as review. So a to the b times a to the c, that's a to the b plus c, and a to the b parentheses 2 to c, that's a to the b times c. You guys know that already. So x square root, that's x to the 1/2. So when we square root something, we're actually raising it to the 1/2 power. And we can use these radicals with a number next to it. So when we square root, when we find a square root of something, the 2 is invisible. There's actually a 2 here, but we just don't write it out just for simplicity. But for anything greater than that, for root 3, root 4, we always write the number. So root 3, that's x to the 1/3, and root 4, that's x to the 1/4. So 2 to the 1/2 power. So it's the square root of 2. That's actually that's like 1.41 or 1.42 something. We'll get to that later. That's not an integer. That's an irrational number. So the decimal, it has a decimal, but it goes on forever. It never ends and it doesn't repeat. So remember, square roots are the exponent, are fractions and exponents. So that's what square roots are. All right, so here are some examples. So the square root of 11 squared, that's 11. This is because this is 11 to the 2nd power times parentheses raised to the 1/2 power. And if you guys remember from this rule, we multiply the exponents. So this is 2 times 1/2. All right, and then you multiply the exponents. Yeah, so 1/2 times 2, that's 1, and 11 to the 1st power, that's just 11. And here are some more examples. So 7 to the 4th power, square root of that. We can turn 7 to the 4th into 7 squared parentheses 2 to the 2nd. That's the same thing as 7 to the 4th. 2 times 2, that's 4. And then we have a square root and a squared here. So we just we can cancel those out because this is 1/2 and this is 2, so that equals 1. And then 7 squared, that's just 49. So 49 squared, and you want to find a square root of that, and that equals 49. You can actually solve this. You can solve this with different steps. You guys can square root the whole thing first, or you guys can find what 7 squared is first. It doesn't matter. Just the main thing to remember, square roots are fractions. Fractions in the exponent. Here's some more examples. So 5 times 10 times 7, parentheses, square all of that. and you want to find the square root of that. Well, we have a square root and we have an exponent to the 2. We can just cancel it. We just multiply those and we just cancel. We cancel those. So this simply becomes 5 times 10 times 7, and that's 350. All right, 64 times 25 square root. So we can change this into 8 squared times 5 squared and then the square root. And if you guys remember our exponent rules, I don't think I went over this one, but we can change this into 8 times 5 squared because they both have the same exponent. So we just multiply the bases and then raise that to the second power and then square root that. So this is basically 8 times 5 equals 40. And then square root of 490,000. So this is 49 times 10,000 and find the square root of that. And then that's 7 squared times 100 squared. Same thing, 7 times 100 parentheses squared and then square root. 7 times 100 and that's 700. So the takeaway from this, you guys can, inside the radical, you guys can manipulate it into different ways, and that'll make it a lot easier for you guys to solve. Okay, yeah, so it is 7:30 and that concludes our lesson for today. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday then. All right, bye guys.